Hey, what's up, high school tech? Welcome back to the studio. We are going to take a quick jog through the code so far. Also, I have just an example of what it should look like, so you kind of have a better idea of what you're doing. So let's get started. So this is my very crude application of what I've assigned to you. And so it doesn't look pretty, but if you type in Formspec, it pulls up this form here. Now I've just kind of stretched it really long, stuffed 3 fields in there, moved the button down, and reassigned some of the naming so that it makes a lot more sense when you're actually entering in this information. Because like if this wasn't called gravity, if it was called number, it would be really, really difficult to know what you're changing. Also, I think what would be helpful is to include a little bit of a description for what numbers mean what. I have not done that, so it's kind of crazy. But this is what you would do. Now, from here, this is just the graphical, right? So the graphical, that's how it's supposed to sort of look like, right? You can tidy it up, make it look nicer. But then from there, it needs to actually change the player physics. And as you can see for me, you've got to be really careful if you jump, because my jump is way too high and my gravity is very low and my speed is very high. So there, that is effectively what it does. Now I think it'll keep running. Yeah, good. So if I pull up the form spec again, great, I'm still dropping. I can turn gravity up to whatever I want. Now, I'm going to set it to a 1, which is regular gravity. I'm going to set my speed to much more conservative 10, and my jump to like I don't know, a 5. Because again, I need to go and look, and this text should be changed as well. It should be changed to like set, and then it would be nice to bake into that where it actually closes the form spec. For right now, you have to press escape. So, but yeah, you can see my gravity's well, it's much better. Standard gravity, but the jump is insane. Thankfully, damage is turned off because I would have died by now, and speed is just a little bit more. So there you go. That's how you would. That's the functionality that it should have. Now, just a quick look at the code. I want you guys to figure out the player physics part. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. I think you guys can do that. You're gonna have to pull a few ideas together to get it to work, but use those resources that I gave you in the last assignment. But this is the form spec, and some of y'all, I last class I was telling y'all, mess around with the numbers to try to figure out what's what, and you can continue to do that. You're going to want to continue to do that, but I can tell you right off the bat that the first set of numbers, which are, they're separated by a comma, that's how you can tell if it's a set, right, is the position on the form spec itself. And so this first number being the distance from, I believe, the left, top left, maybe, width-wise. And then the next number is the position from the top left, height-wise, vertically. So horizontally and vertically. So this would be the vertical distance from the top left. So, and then, of course, the buttons also needs to be moved down. So that's going to affect that. The other thing that I changed is these name assignments. So first of all, this is the name that you see on the form spec. This is the friendly name. You would probably want to give that more of a description if you can. You might not be able to give it more of a description, but if you can't, then there's ways of adding text to your form spec where I guess you could include more additional information. There's a way to do everything, basically. And then I also, this is the field name. This is what you'll access when you receive the input from that, from the form spec. So that's important to, it's helpful. This could be anything. It could be it could be number, but it sure is helpful when it actually is similar to the field name. It's easier with programming. So bear that in mind when you're trying to figure out what to call things, is make it easy on yourself. So that's all that I really wanted to cover. I don't really want to get into the player physics modifying yet. Use those resources that I gave you. And of course, ask questions. But yeah, that should hopefully get you started on how to accomplish this. Thanks, guys.